Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about copyright issues and the problems that can arise from them. A lot of our customers have asked me these questions, and I think people are just not quite sure what is going on. So, just to tell you what can happen. So, this is one of the old images that we had on one of our websites. I think it was on the blog this time. We got a little fun, nice letter from a licensed compliance service company that works on behalf of somebody else. But anyway, they charged us $200 for using an image without any copyright. And so to preclude you guys from having the same problem, I made this quick little video. It's going to be very short, I promise, but it's going to talk a little bit about copyright, and it could save you really a lot of money. It could start at 200. We had a $600 claim once, and it can go up to thousands, especially if you take bigger images. So let's get started with social media. Now, social media, you can put any image on that you like. It's not your responsibility. Always remember the rule is pretty easy. Even though this might be your account, this is still Pinterest all over. That's Pinterest's website, and that's what counts. Whose website is it and what the pictures are on. So for social media, it's pretty simple. You can actually put anything on it. You will never be liable for anything. If at all, we've had it a couple of times on Pinterest, they will remove the pictures themselves and they just tell you, hey, sorry, we had to remove a picture because of copyright issues. Now on Facebook or on Twitter, I've never had that happen. The only thing on Facebook I can think about when you place ads, we came across that once, is you really do not want to put any celebrities or anything on there that has some kind of copyright taste to it. Now pictures is fine, it's still any pictures kind of pictures, but let's say you're placing an ad and you're making money with it, and you have a celebrity on there, that could go bad. But apart from that, really social media, no big deal. So what we're really talking about is your website, okay? So anything that's on your website, any picture that you have, see this is a nice little stock photo here. Of course, your own pictures don't matter. You can put your own pictures on, and we'll talk about that kind of copyright in a second as well. But any stock photos here, for instance, that one we did ourselves, so that's no problem. The videos is the same thing, but just as I was saying, this kind of a stock photo, the blogs as well. If you look at the blog, there's a whole bunch of pictures always in the blog. So watch out when you use those pictures. Anything that you take off the web is potentially copyrighted. So you got to really watch out when you take stuff. So how to preclude yourself from stepping into this pitfall? So number one is, of course, take your own pictures. It's the easiest way. If you take some kind of picture, no big deal. Second way is if I Google something like, whatever, let's just say I just want to look for cars here. So I'm just Googling Mercedes, and then I'm going into images, and then I get all these beautiful Mercedes images here. And of course, most of them are going to be copyrighted somehow. But what Google has done lately is pretty cool. You go to search tools, and under usage rights, you can just filter everything out. We use labeled for reuse. That means you can use the picture. And then, all these pictures here will be fine. So you saw it filtered out all the pictures that are copyrighted, and there you can go. And you can, filter that down, label for non-commercial reuse with modifications, blah, 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 and so forth. But the labeled for reuse is fine. So that's number one. So if you, if you have a Google photo, and you want to be sure of that you can use these pictures. Okay, number two is, this is a pretty cool site. It's called Pixabay, pixabay.com. And actually same thing here. Let's just do the same thing. Let's see what happens. I don't even have a clue. So here, 193 free images. Look at that. This is a pretty neat picture of a 300 SL. Beautiful picture, and it's free. So free download here, I can just free download and use that wherever I want to, okay? So Pixabay is fine. Now you might think, how do they make their money? See, up here is the sponsored images, and they come from stock photo sites, which is going to be our next thing. So Pixabay is really pretty neat. And there's some pretty neat pictures here if you look at that. And they're all free. So you can just download them, and actually, if you look back, you can actually download them in relatively big sizes. So this one maybe not, but sometimes they have the size over here. So Pixabay is a really nice site. Okay, next is stock photo site. So let's just pretend I made a Google search here just for stock photos. I just put stock photos in, and then I got iStock is a big one, Shutterstock is one, Adobe has stock photos, and this is the one we like to use. It's called 123rf.com. And if we just have a look at that, 123rf.com, I can get myself a little plan here. And then they, of course, right now on the Pixabay, we had, if we put Mercedes in, we had 193 pictures, and here we have 86 pages of them, 8,500 matches. So all these pictures can be downloaded at a certain price. So if you click on this one, it'll tell you exactly, okay, this is one credit, which on 123RF it's a buck credit. So for the size of 450 times 300, it's $1. 147.65 is $2. That's good for blogs, for instance. This one's good for slideshows. You got 300 DPI, so $3, and you get this picture if you need it. But you got to watch out, editorial use only. I picked one that has editorial use, of course. I ran across that one. Okay, so really quick recap. Okay, social media is fine. On your own pages, on your own blogs, anytime your name is associated with a website, please watch out for that. It could be really expensive. And those guys can find those images. I don't think you can trick them. If you just take them off the web, they can code JPEGs so they can find them again, and they will definitely sue you. Then the next thing is Google search. Next one is Pixabay for free stuff, and then stock photos, which will always get you safe, and it's really not that expensive. I mean, think about when you have a blog. Come on, how many pictures? Maybe 30 pictures a year. That's $30. Not really that expensive. Okay, so one more thing before I forget, excuse me, is music. So a lot of people just make a little video and then they put any kind of music behind it. Okay, so but you know, anything that you put on there, any modern artist, any old artist, any classical music, any jazz, doesn't matter. Anything that is halfway known will definitely be copyrighted. So YouTube used to take out your video music. They just killed it. Now they just tell you that you have a copyright issue. Facebook will just not upload your video at all. So hey, you know, just get some free music on there. So if you're on an Apple computer, they have some free music in iMovie or basically some free music on your Mac itself. You can just Google it again. That's what I always say. If you have a question, just Google it. So there's some free music stuff. What I pretty much like is if you look at YouTube, YouTube is their own free music library. So it has youtube.com/audio library /music. And also when you got to be logged into your Google account though, or your YouTube account. And once you're logged in, you can just Google it again. So here's a whole bunch of things that is free music. And you see even there's some well-known artists. I saw Bizet here. But then there's all kinds of, you know, people that you've never heard of, but it doesn't really matter. You know, these you can just play. Okay, so there's Christmas music here, for instance. And those you can just use. You can just download and add it to your video and you're good. So that should be it for copyright. Hey, thank you for listening, and tune in again when Tangram Media tells you how things are done on the web.